The 10 worst Man United signings ever. If Manchester United is known for anything aside from their inconsistency after the Sir Alex Ferguson era, it'd be their terrible, terrible signings. Here are the 10 worst Man United signings ever. Number 10. Radamel Falcao. Radamel Falcao is in 10th place because he was only a loan signing. However, Manchester United did pay a hefty loan fee of £6 million to Monaco for the striker. It was a risk for United to sign Falcao, who had only recently recovered from a significant knee injury. It soon became apparent that getting back to full fitness in the Premier League would be considerably more difficult than it would have been in League One. In 29 games for United, the former Atletico Madrid player managed just 4 goals, and the summer option to make the deal permanent for £43.5 million was quickly rejected. Falcao's lowest point at United was when Van Gaal made him play for the team's under-21 squad, where he was replaced just after the hour mark. Number 9. Memphis Depay. Depay was signed by United for £25 million from PSV Eindhoven, apparently outbidding Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal and Liverpool for the services of the Holland international. Depay didn't lack confidence, as evidenced by his request to wear the number 7 shirt, and his United career actually got off to a good start, with 2 goals against Club Brugge in the Champions League playoffs. However, it didn't take long for Louis van Gaal to start questioning Depay's abilities. Depay expressed his disappointment at the fact that it was taking his body some time to adjust to the Premier League while he was back in Holland. Depay continued to have the occasional flash of brilliance, including a fantastic performance against Midtjylland in the Europa League, but he played very little in 2016-2017 before moving to Lyon in January. Memphis underwhelmed for United off the field as well, with the team only recouping £15 million of his price when they sold him to Lyon in January 2017. Number 8. Matteo Darmian. One of many signings that Manchester United made that couldn't make the jump from Serie A to the Premier League. The lowest point in Darmian's United career came away at Arsenal, where he was relentlessly attacked by future teammate Alexis Sanchez as the Gunners went on the rampage. The right-back stayed with the club for 4 years, but his chances to play for the first squad began to decline well before his eventual departure, which happened in 2019 when he signed with Parma for a lot less money than the Red Devils paid for him. Number 7. Morgan Schneiderlin. Schneiderlin joined in the summer of 2015 during what was regarded as a key transfer window at the time. The former Southampton midfielder originally made an impression just like Depay, starring in a victory against Tottenham on the opening day of the season, and then scoring in a fine 3-0 hammering of Everton in October. However, it started to become apparent that Schneiderlin might be out of his depth at United, because he left such little to no impact on the team during his tenure at the club. Schneiderlin is one of those individuals who is often forgotten. It's difficult to remember more than 3 of his fewer than 35 starts where he really stood out. Prior to moving to Everton in the middle of the 2017 season, he only played 147 minutes of football in the first half of the year. Number 6. Nick Powell. Powell had just finished a season in League 2 with Crewe when Man United rushed in for the highly rated teenager, signing a deal worth up to £6 million. In the end, Powell fell short of the expectations. With only 9 games for United and 1 goal, he had to start over and rebuild his career in the Football League. Who knows, he'd have been a fantastic signing if he had come a few years earlier, during the Fergie era. Ferguson was the type of manager who had a habit of telling young players that their time would come, so even if he had to wait for a stretch of games, he would still have felt confident about his longer-term future. Instead, under David Moyes and subsequently Van Gaal, regular first-team football was far from the table, and a loan transfer to Leicester City didn't bring much more in the way of activity. After permanently leaving Old Trafford, Powell's performance improved in the Championship and League One as he accepted the idea that enjoying football at a lesser level may sometimes be a lot more healthy than misery and frustration at a higher level. Number 5. Wilfried Zaha. Zaha, Ferguson's final signing, arrived at a United that was substantially different from the one he had agreed to join. In January 2013, a deal to bring him from Crystal Palace was reached, and he spent the rest of the year on loan at Selhurst Park. was already in control at Old Trafford when he came back, and the two weren't exactly a match made in heaven. Zaha struggled with the spotlight that came with playing for England's biggest club, and he was always critical of the way the team and Moyes treated him. Before going back to Palace, where he has since continued to excel, the winger made just 4 appearances for United. Number 4. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Everyone at United should have been suspicious when Bayern Munich was so eager to let Schweinsteiger leave Bavaria in the summer of 2015. At the time, the £6.5 million addition was widely hailed as a bit of a coup, but Bayern had noticed that Schweinsteiger's legs were starting to turn against him. 8 minutes into his debut, he was given a booking, which served as a foreshadowing of what was to come. The German stint at United came to an abrupt end when Jose Mourinho arrived a year later and promptly barred him from the team. In March 2017, the footballer joined the Chicago Fire of the MLS. The expectation was that the World Cup and Champions League winner, who was reunited with his former manager Van Gaal at Old Trafford, would have a late career resurrection, but this wasn't the case. Although there was never any debate about Schweinsteiger's talent or class, his second and last season in England saw him make only 5 appearances due to injuries and a general lack of fitness. Number 3. Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba joined Juventus and became one of the best midfielders in the world after leaving United on a free transfer in 2012. At the age of 23, the Red Devils paid a then record fee of £89 million to bring him back to Old Trafford 4 years later. After 3 miserable years since Ferguson's retirement, it was believed that Pogba would be the one to turn Manchester United back into the undisputed number 1 team in England and abroad. Pogba, though, did not impress during his 6 years back in the team. Although he occasionally displayed his talent, he was wildly inconsistent and never seemed to properly fit with the team. What's worse, he left United for Juventus again on a free. He won just an EFL Cup and Europa League. Number 2. Angel Di Maria. On the surface, it made perfect sense to sign Angel Di Maria in the summer of 2014. He had just helped Real Madrid win the Champions League with a man-of-the-match performance in the final, and was United's record transfer at the time at £59 million. However, he had trouble adjusting, and having his home broken into didn't help. He did impress in his first few games, but not long after, he became a shadow of the player he was in previous years. After one trophyless season in Manchester, he left for PSG in 2015. Louis van Gaal had expected Di Maria to lead the team into a new era, but Di Maria perhaps suffered under the pressure of being the team's main man after playing alongside Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo for years. He committed to a 5-year contract with the club for a little under £60 million, but he left after only 1 season to join Paris Saint-Germain. After 2 goals and 2 assists in his first 4 games, he had a promising start and was named the club's Player of the Month for September. However, things rapidly turned sour. He had a series of terrible performances and was sent off against Arsenal in the 6th round of the FA Cup, which cost his team, so there weren't many people upset when he left for Paris. His reputation among United supporters was demonstrated by the reception he received upon his return to Manchester for the Champions League match in 2019. Number 1. Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez, who was part of what is arguably the worst swap deal in Manchester United's transfer story, came to Manchester as one of the best players in the Premier League, but left as a failure. Alexis, who was loved at Arsenal, never showed the same form after making his shocking move to Old Trafford. Man City also bid for him, but Manchester United offered him money he couldn't turn down. Then he came on camera and declared that he'd always been a Man United fan, and he picked them because he wanted to win trophies. There was also that beautiful unveiling video where he played the piano. However, the excitement was short-lived. In his 18 months with the team, he only managed 3 Premier League goals, and in 2020, he joined Inter on a free transfer, following his loan there. Henrik Mkhitaryan was swapped for Sanchez, whose salary was allegedly over £14 million per year after taxes. Sanchez was expensive for the team, and he didn't justify his wage throughout his time at Old Trafford. What do you think about the list? Let us know down in the comment section. Also, make sure to watch this video in the link, and if you like our content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. On the screen now should be another good video worth watching, so click on that video and we will see you in the next one.